Have you ever wondered what it was that started the Fishermen Tell Tall Tales lines? As an oral story, the origin is nearly impossible to discover, yet it is a saying that is ingrained into our society.
The beast was as long as the boat. For 7 hours we did battle, until I said, "You will not beat me!"
Greg, what should I do with your fish?
Gary! Just put it in the cooler.
If you're a fisherman, you tell tales. It's what you do.
There is no defined largest fish caught in history due to exaggeration or inaccurate recording, but there have been plenty of tales. Since these stories began, fishermen have been struggling to catch up. One of the problems in the fishing industry is the method in which we do it. Our approaches to fishing are skewing up billions of years of evolution in food chains in a matter of decades. And for what? In earlier generations, we could catch marine life with no worries, due to us knowing that the fish would repopulate in time to catch them again. But technology has gotten bigger, better, and faster. And now our desire for fish outweighs the rate of reproduction. In commercial fishing, there are a plethora of different methods to capture the fish. There is trawling, purse seining, dredging, long lining, nets, and lobster and crawl pots. All of these, of course, have different environmental impacts.
Turn around! You're going the wrong way!
The most commonly known net featured in the Pixar film Finding Nemo is the trawl fishing net. Bottom trawl nets are used to catch fish that reside on the ocean floor. This method of fishing is commonly referred to as the most destructive form of fishing due to the fact that as the net drags along the bottom of the ocean floor, it disrupts and ruins most of the life there. The biggest issue from these nets is the bycatch. Most of the fish caught are not the species that fishermen are aiming for. With no license to catch those fish, fishermen toss the species that they didn't want back into the ocean. The process of bringing the nets back in and sorting through the fish takes so long that the bycatch caught are already dead by the time they are tossed back into the ocean. Scientists estimate that 90% of the fish caught in the trawling method end up becoming bycatch. Now, add that factor into every other type of commercial fishing method. Globally, there is 7.3 million tons of bycatch every year. But how can we stop this bycatch when there is no consistent management of the fisheries? The Huffington Post once revealed that only 1% to 5% of fishing trips are currently getting observer coverage at most U.S. fisheries per report. The biggest issue to overfishing is the strong demand for the product. Yearly, Japan consumes 7.5 billion tons of fish every year. That is equivalent to 10% of the globe's catch. Not only do they consume an abundance of seafood, but they also control the fishing industry. In international law, a country can fish 200 miles extending from the borders of their nation, known as the Exclusive Economic Zone. The Exclusive Economic Zone was set to maintain laws regarding the ocean waters, so fishing companies couldn't run rampant on the seas. But 200 miles of open water is almost impossible to regulate, therefore encouraging a black market to open up entirely regarding illegal fishing. The USA has the largest amount of ocean available to them when compared with every other nation. Yet, we export 600 million pounds of food out of the continental United States every year. The seafood that we do consume has a 91% probability that it was imported in from another country. Where do we send our own fish that we catch? Most of it is sent to Asia, who sends us back their own fish caught. It's like we're just trading back and forth. So why don't we keep our own fish to consume a fresher resource? That's the question author of American Catch, Paul Greenberg, concludes his novel with. But commercial fishing isn't the only problem to overfishing. Recreational fishing has swum its way into becoming a favorite American pastime. An example of this is charter boats taken by tourists for fishing expeditions, like in Key West, Florida. These boats take the tourists out, catch a fish, bring them in, and hang them up to display their prize for a photo. This process has been going on for 50 years, often from the same deck to the same waters. Now, in modern day, the largest fish caught is up to a foot long or less.
The beast was as long as the boat. For 7 hours we did battle, until I said, "You will not beat me!"
Greg, what should I do with your fish?
Gary, just put it in the cooler.
If you're a fisherman, you tell tales. It's what you do.
As our desire for seafood increases, the amount of fish in our ocean declines. In our own lifetime, thousands of different types of fish will go extinct due to overfishing them. Today, over half of the fish we consume comes from a farm. While these practices are good for the economy, they aren't too beneficial for the environment.
A popular way to farm-raise fish is to use net pens or net cages. These pens are placed directly into the water and anchored to the bottom. Net pen aquaculture operations raise several conservation concerns. Water flows freely through the pens and can carry waste and chemicals like pesticides into the local environment. In addition, there's the potential threat of disease transfer from the farmed fish to wild fish that swim past the pens.
So what can you do to help with the overfishing problem? Giving up seafood is hard, especially if you are just dying for sushi. An easy way to make a difference is to download the app Seafood Watch from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. This app will inform you if the food you are purchasing came from a sustainable fishing source and where it was caught, all with the scan of a barcode. By only buying from sustainable practices, we as consumers will show that we don't just care about our product, but we care about the environment as well.
The Monterey Bay Aquarium's Seafood Watch program can help you know which seafood to buy and where to find it. How do they do this? The Seafood Watch program has a team of scientists who evaluate fishing and farming practices around the world. They analyze the environmental impacts so that you know which seafood to buy and which to avoid. These are recommendations you can trust. Our research is reviewed by experts from universities, government agencies, and the seafood industry. So how does all this information help the oceans? It starts with you. You can download the Seafood Watch app. Then, like Jackie, ask the person at your seafood counter where the fish is from and how it's caught or farmed.